right. Or hit him with the Thor, of course. Of course.
Yes, of course.
Of course.
And of
All
course,
right.
this is Press X to Ramble. What is up, everyone?
Are we
This
starting?
is-
We starting?
We doing it. We doing
We in
it.
here.
This here? Okay.
Yes, yes. This is Press X to Ramble. Press X to Ramble is the podcast where we get to talk about, well, whatever we want. And today we are rambling about the 4-hour-long god tier of a movie called Justice League: The Snyder Cut.
It's a god tier of a something.
Mhm.
I am your host for today, DJ, aka Sexy Bad Choices, aka I'm building a team, aka Did You Know?
What?
There's a lot of stuff that happened in this movie. There's a lot of representation that happened in this movie. And I got so excited to see Martian Manhunter appear in this movie to do pretty much nothing.
Not a goddamn thing.
Well,
Funny thing,
sort of.
I've actually met the actor of Henry
Lennox, yeah.
Linux. Yeah, I met him just randomly one time when I was.
You didn't
working on
ask him to come on the podcast?
No. This was way long time. This is like during the last Maryland gubernatorial election.
Oh, all right.
Popped in to help, and I was like, "Oh, look, from the Matrix." That's what I do.
Hey.
Speaking of which, who are you?
Jordan, aka JX Spot, aka Jordan of the Dojima Clan, aka Jordan, the 247th Avenger, I guess.
You got promoted.
Yeah, I did get promoted last time.
Next up.
And I am Marcus, aka your heavyweight champion from Wish Nigga California, aka the janitor because of me watch niggas, aka Q European whaling track number 5. Yeah. That's that stuff.
I am Sean M.F. Ross.
What MF stand for?
Adolph, Blaine, Charles, David, Earl, Frederick, Gerald, Herbert Burton, John, Kenneth, Lloyd, Martin, Nero, Oliver, Paul, Quincy, Randolph, Sherman, Thomas, Uncas, Victor, William, Xerxes, Yancey, Zeus, Wolfenschlagen, Steinhausen, Senior.
What in the What was that?
That is the Snyder cut of my name. Joss Whedon, shorten my shit up.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God.
You came prepared. I wasn't ready. Oh, my God.
Wow. What a joke.
That was awesome. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my God.
I don't want to go up after that. I don't. I know when I'm going to lose a case. Oh, God. I am Douglas Nivens II. You're somewhat beaten, very tired barrister of Baltimore who is not representing the father of Barry Allen. That's not my case.
If he's innocent, right?
No, he's presumed guilty now. He in jail.
Barry's daddy know he a menace.
Like Kanan said on Power, whatever they say the nigga did, he did that shit.
At no point was Barry's dad like, yes, get this criminal degree so you can rescue me from here. He was like,
no, he's
"Don't
like,
even."
you need to get a job and maybe find a girlfriend and stop coming up in here like this. Like, yo.
Oh my God. Well, with us being introduced, we are going to continue with our ramble about this movie.
Yep.
So how we're going to do that is break this up into 2 parts. The first part is going to be a spoiler-free version of our review. And then the second part will be spoiler-filled. So that's pretty much it. Okay. First up, let's talk about the plot to this movie, guys.
Oh.
Well,
if you saw the first movie,
right there it is.
Not a whole lot changed.
All right, part 2.
So yeah, it's really kind of hard to talk about the plot because the plot is essentially like 2 hours of just extra stuff to go along with the whole idea that Superman is dead. They're in this post-Superman world.
Don't even get me started on that.
See, Marcus, you said setup, and setup imply foundation. And just as how there wasn't much foundation in the first movie, arguably there's not a whole lot of foundation. There's a tiny bit, but not extra 2 hours worth of it. So for that, I would say you should do what I did, which is you could watch one half of it, take a nap, fix you some food, maybe do a chore or two. Actually, have it play in the background as you wash your dishes, so you can be productive with your time. You're not gonna miss out on anything. Trust me.
Yeah, you're just gonna miss out on about like maybe a solid hour of Zack Snyder doing slow motion music videos.
So actually, that I got a question for everyone. Who watched this whole thing like from start to finish? Who didn't take breaks?
Oh, who didn't take breaks? You're
Didn't
crazy.
take any breaks. Okay.
I mean, I took a break, but I didn't go to sleep or anything. It's just baby duty stuff.
You took a mental break.
just baby stuff, you know.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So they're in a post-Superman world. Everyone is trying to get by. Batman kind of scours the planet to form this team based off of a premonition he had of Doomsday. We don't actually see the premonition in the movie.
Nah,
right?
it's
Yeah,
an epilogue.
So that's the epilogue was the premonition that he had.
Well, it was a continuation of the premonition that he had.
Okay.
So it's the premonition from Batman v Superman when he was in that, I guess, box.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Don't worry, there's a lot of things to forget about this movie.
Yeah. So basically, a bunch of stuff happens. We're introduced to the characters slowly. I did appreciate that there was more time being fleshed out to different characters.
And
I felt like Cyborg could be their own movie in a way.
they all should have been their own movie. They should have taken their time the way Marvel did.
And just to let you know, if you watch other like the Wonder Woman movie and the Aquaman movies, they are not that well connected.
Not at all. Not at all. Also, one aspect of this being a post-Superman world is the day that Superman died, he let out some wave of energy from his hot-ass breath.
I know. I was like, I didn't know that Superman was a soprano.
Is that the remix to what?
Belting out.
That wave of energy awakened the mother boxes. How?
Or told them told the mother boxes that it was the all clear for them to start.
Yeah.
Because for the other centuries before Superman came to be, they were like, nah, we're gonna wait this out.
Yeah. Why Superman activates them? I don't know. Like,
so I think it's a combination. Like, cause I was kind of confused. I was like, why would his yell be the trigger? But I think it was a combination of Doomsday and Superman, because they were both yelling at the same time when they reach orgasm. And then, like, I feel like I feel like that's what, like, maybe like triggered like the whole mother box response or whatever. Like, that's just kind of what I did. That's how.
They were like, the way they were talking about it in the movie. It was like Superman. Something in his DNA or whatever, like with the release of that energy, unlocked the mother boxes, which doesn't make any sense because, like, how do they know about Superman? Like, Kryptonians weren't even a part of like the original heroic age. I don't understand why.
But he did actually mention that though in their explanation with the earlier fight with the old gods. He was like, there are no lanterns, no Kryptonians, no something,
no Zeus. Who is rich.
They mentioned that.
Okay, even still though, like why explicitly like it just doesn't. I feel like they're trying to let us know that Superman's a big deal, but it doesn't actually make sense when you really think about it.
I think that.
I have a question. Before we go deeper into this, is there anything you want to say before we go into sports? I think this is a great discussion to have a more descriptions about the movie.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll put a pin on this and we'll continue on.
Okay.
Okay. What do you guys think about Steppenwolf and his hunt for the mother box?
He was much better in this than he was in the theatrical cut.
Way better.
Yeah,
Much better fashion choice too.
Yeah.
No, when he had that kind of living alien armor and the Amazons shot him with the arrows and the armor clanked off or like it clamped down to, I was like, okay, that's fire.
Yeah, like
that is fire.
His armor seems to be like emotion based. Because like there's times where it's just like completely smooth, and then like when he's like going in battle mode, it like spikes up, and it's just like that's fucking dope. I wish my shirt did that.
When Darkseid showed up,
it just rolls up out of nowhere.
Right?
When Darkseid revealed himself, his armor retreated. Like you see his like actual. So
everybody get butt naked. Yeah, pretty much.
You might be on to something.
Tatiana.
Look. I had a whole question about, in terms of the logic gaps and how things work. Like to me, the mother box, it seemed like it should not have taken 2 hours to talk about what they were, or at least why they're so valuable. And I would say, without giving too much away, like, and maybe you guys agree or disagree, I don't. Even to this day, I guess now you get a better understanding of Steppenwolf's motivations.
Yeah.
He has better motivations in this.
Yeah. I don't get Darkseid's motivations. Like, I don't feel the stakes that I think I'm supposed to feel.
Darkseid is bargain bin evil in these movies, where it's just like, I must conquer because reasons.
Yeah, it's just like he wants to expand. He's just I need to just dominate everything.
I mean, if he wants to expand, all he got to do is eat a bunch of pizza. Like, this is
if he wants to dominate, look, I know some people who will help him with his desire, but it's not like, I would say, for folks who want to compare this versus, say, the Avengers, Thanos is a nuanced person. You could like Thanos had a point.
Yeah,
there's not that equivalent in this movie.
Here's the issue.
Thanos had
Darkseid may have been better fleshed out if they could have done the same thing as Avengers. You saw Thanos across multiple movies.
It's not even if they could have, though. They chose not to.
Yeah.
You're right.
All right.
Yeah. So no, Steppenwolf was dope in this, actually.
Yeah.
Even though he looked like the Knives Out chair.
Jordan, what do you think of Steppenwolf? You've been oddly quiet.
Oh no, you're fine. Steppenwolf, I think compared to the first time around, he was more compelling of a character. There are clear motivations. They didn't go into the true details on why he was ostracized and sent away from Apocalypse. Which I don't know why you want to be in Apocalypse, but hey, some people want to have very toasty morning walks. So. I mean, like he said, Steppenwolf was very shiny.
Lovely chrome.
Looked like he would have problems with hugging people, when he was wearing.
That would explain his lack of clothing. It's so hot in Apocalypse that there's no need for clothes.
What ass naked?
He just but why can't he have air cooling jets like Cyborg does?
Well, maybe there was some ventilation with the little spikes, but Steppenwolf was alright. Yeah, he was okay.
Yeah. He was also like, from jump, he was catching bodies. Like when we first see that man, he's yeeting Amazons all over the place.
We're going into spoiler territory. Go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
So what did you guys think of the difference between the two cuts of the movie, and then did this movie exceed, or disappoint your expectations?
What expectations?
I mean, they just expanded on a lot of backstory in the Snyder cut, and they took out a lot of the jokes. It just shows that everything could have been its own movie, but they didn't know how to give each person a villain to defeat in their own movie to kind of lead up to this culmination of the Justice League needing to be a thing. I really think that the big wigs at Warner Media just really shit the bed on this one, trying to catch the Marvel wave.
They screwed themselves over by making the Man of Steel sequel a Batman crossover movie. They should have given Man of Steel 2 hits, like they should have given Superman his 2 movies and then started branching out, but they rushed, and then it led us to this point where Superman died way too early, and then it put them into this corner of, oh, we have to deal with this threat way earlier than we should.
And honestly, I feel like this is what I love Batman. Batman's one of my favorite superheroes. And this is probably one of the most disappointing portrayals of Batman, because it is, and maybe this is Snyder's interpretation of, if you have a very wealthy man who wants to partake in solving crime, this is how he will react. But it's just like, all the characters have no nuance. So my disappointment is that with 2 extra hours, I still have mostly one-sided characters with not much motivation, other than they're just here to stop the world from exploding. That's fine, but like, it's almost, what may look good in a comic book does not translate always well to a screen, to the widescreen. And
like a 4:3 aspect ratio.
Exactly.
I didn't mind that, actually.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about it like an hour in.
I felt like I was watching The Lighthouse. It was weird.
Well, the issue is he filmed it for IMAX, and that was the aspect ratio, and they just left it there, so you can see the full.
I mean, they filmed the Dark Knight movies for IMAX too, and those weren't in a 4:3 ratio. No, but I get what
they still cut off stuff when they put it in the 16:9.
Yeah.
Even if it was filmed for IMAX, they still chop off the top and the bottom. But I get you.
No, but I do agree in terms.
Wait. Douglas, did you finish?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
No, I agree. I think that there's things in this cut that I liked more than the theatrical cut, but then there's also things in the theatrical cut that I liked more than this cut. I understand that the Whedon cut felt a little too much like the Avengers, but there was certain things that they did in the Whedon cut in terms of character that I appreciated a bit more. And here, there was so much padding for time, and like everything it wasn't as self-serious as I thought it was going to be, but it's still pretty damn self-serious. But
it's serious without stakes.
Right.
Like The Dark Knight is a serious movie, and you feel the stakes. You understand what's going on. You're drawn into it because he laid appropriate foundation. There's not a lot of foundation here.
Yeah,
there's a lot of slow motion, and
I still have issues.
I will say the only people, the 2 people that really knew the stakes were Batman and Wonder Woman.
Right.
Out of all Batman and Wonder Woman. I was gonna say Cyberpunk. Jesus, I was gonna say Cyborg, but I don't think that. No.
But the Cyborg needs therapy. That's what he needs.
Every one of them needs therapy, but like Batman. I actually like Batman more in this than in the Whedon cut, but it's still very jarring to me that this nigga suddenly cares in like, oh, I made Superman a promise because our mothers are both named Martha.
Right.
Like
that's the thing. It's like Batman. You make Batman a great value Ozymandias, and I don't like that.
I do still love that line though. It was like, "What's your superpower? I'm rich." That's still a great line. Like that's still a great line.
But it felt kind of cringy.
I hate that line. So
yeah,
much.
I mean,
all he did was flex on people the whole movie.
What else you gonna do? He's rich and white.
Marcus enjoyed it because it validated many realities of Batman as a character. Like it does validate.
No, I'll say one thing that I do miss a lot from the Whedon cut is when Superman was slapping up the entire Justice League, and then Batman shows up like 5 minutes late because there's nothing he can bring to the table. And when Superman pulls up on him and he picks him up and he says, "Tell me, do you bleed?" and then tosses him away, I was like, why is this not in this movie? That is a fantastic moment. But you know, I digress.
Only thing Batman needed to do was make a little kryptonite bullet Just like,
Yeah, well,
Well, in the comic book, he keeps a little kryptonite in the tool belt. He's like, just in case. Just in case. Like, I know he's gonna go. I know he's gonna snap. But
He keep that thing on him.
I like how Marcus. What I missed out that scene was when Barry Allen saw Spider-Man. Kirk, and now he's like, "This is like Pet Cemetery, y'all."
that's also a great line. That's a fantastic line.
Like, yo,
Also, how the hell did Wonder Woman know his Kryptonian name? How does she know that?
Yeah, probably a database. Because
No.
I think
she's a good researcher. She's a good researcher.
All right, okay.
That is kind of weird that she knows that his Kryptonian name.
Right.
I'm like,
I think that
who told you that?
Her and Lois are girlfriends. They be having brunch on Sundays. You don't know.
Kal-El is wilding, girl.
Right.
Bruce Wayne already knew Clark's name in the previous film, so I won't be surprised she on that. And
Okay.
he kind of knew that.
That scene took me out.
So
go ahead.
Saying that shit like they friends, but go ahead.
Right.
What's up, everybody?
I know you.
It's DJ here, aka
Hi, DJ.
Hot Takes. Because boy, let me tell you something. I fucking love this movie, guys. It was 4 hours long, and I enjoyed every last bit of it. You know why?
All of it?
All of it. Because
I love it.
going into this, I thought this was going to literally be.
Did Snyder pay for you? Pay for this?
We can neither confirm nor deny that he paid for me, okay? But yes, going into this, I had absolutely no kind of like expectations that this was going to be an amazing movie. This is going to be great. The movie's not amazing, no, but I enjoyed it.
We're doing spoilers, right? We're doing
No,
spoilers, right? Okay.
In terms of the difference between Whedon and Snyder, yes, of course, there's 2 hours of difference between the two. I really liked the added content, especially with Wonder Woman at the beginning. I'm leaving it spoiler free because that did what I wanted Batman vs Superman to do, which was like kind of show how strong she was. And even in her own movies, it never felt like she was fast. She was strong, but she wasn't fast.
Yeah, because me and Dre were watching that, and she like, wait, how can she do all of this? And I had to explain to her that.
Wait, are you
for
talking?
all intents and purposes, she is Superman light.
Yeah, the scene with the people are robbing the bank,
or whatever that was.
That was in the Whedon cut.
No, but it was extended in this.
It seemed like Whedon may have retouched it or done something, but
you're right. He shortened it.
There's a difference in quality of it, and
really,
he did shorten it. That is one of the differences.
Yeah,
and she didn't move as fast in the Whedon version, and actually, and that's we're a little different because I was like, oh, now she's a Flash. What
no, I thought I'm gonna have to watch both scenes again because I legit remembered that scene beat for beat when I saw it in the Snyder cut.
It's
okay. It's come with age. Don't worry. You need to take some vitamins and help that memory out. Don't worry.
No, but she is Superman light for all. She's the female. She just is not bulletproof, and I think she doesn't even need the plane to fly.
No, she doesn't.
Lightning bolts.
That's where it gets kind of confusing. Well, not confusing. That's where it gets confusing in the universe because in the prequel, this last one, she learns how to fly, but in this, she doesn't.
I meant in the comics, she can actually fly. I believe.
Yeah.
She just uses the jet from time to time.
When you got to stunt,
right?
and your invisible jet, you have to stunt.
Yeah, but I loved the introduction of more like Justice League people, like the Lanterns were mentioned. We see another visitor from a distant planet, kind of distant. All that stuff I loved, even though it didn't make any sense why they were there, why they decided to be who they were, and it's just like, all right, whatever, I don't give a fuck.
Well, you know what? I think he included that stuff just because originally this is his vision, and it was supposed to set up what you were going to see going forward.
Oh, I'm going to talk to you guys about what he was setting up because it is not great, but I'm just going to...
Okay. With that being said, because I the stuff that I want to say, I can only say with spoilers. So this has been the spoiler-free version of the Justice League
Our
ramble.
impressions.
Yes, our impressions. We hope you enjoyed the stuff that we said, and we hope that you stick around for what's coming next. I don't. Should I end this here? No,
Well,
whatever.
wait.
I'll just jump cut it.
Before we go into the spoiler stuff, I do want to say one thing. Even though I have a lot of gripes with this movie, I am glad that it was made because I know that Zack Snyder had to leave the original movie because of tragedy.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate that he got a chance to come back and fulfill his vision, get his version of the movie out there. Whatever gripes I have with it, I am glad that he got the chance to do that because that doesn't happen a lot. And that's pretty cool. So for him, I am glad that this was made. And for the Snyder faithful and whatnot, I'm glad that you guys got this movie.
And let me tack on one thing to the end of that, because as a person who follows Kind of Funny, Greg Miller, I feel like he was probably the first person to talk about he wants the Snyder cut because he felt like Snyder had a different vision for this movie than what Whedon had put up. So I don't want to say that he like started this whole thing, but he's probably one of the bigger contributors to getting this whole thing rolling in the first place.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that being said, I'm just going to end this normally, and then we're going to continue on the part 2. This has been another episode of Press X to Ramble. We hope you enjoyed this cast as much as we enjoyed making it. Don't forget to rate and review on your favorite podcasting app. Every little bit counts. And in case you missed it, this is on IG and YouTube. So we'd really appreciate for you to subscribe and like on both of those accounts. And steal one of your friends' phones and do it there too. Thanks. All right.
Hey.
Until next time, well, we'll see you later. Pieces. It's weird. All right, part 2. Now we get to spoil the fuck out of this show.
Marcus,
movie.
can I have a reply to that? About your spirit? I feel like this is an example of how mediocrity can be failing upwards.
I mean, that's America, baby.
For certain people. For certain people, they can do that.
And
I'm glad that some people
You're not an American.
Can waste over $200 million and they get another $70 million to clean up their mess of their own creation.
Well, I mean, the Zack Snyder, he had to step away originally because I think his daughter had, unfortunately.
Right, yeah. That's what I was saying with tragedy.
There was tension between him and the producer leading up to it. It seemed as though with his daughter's death, that was a straw. Was like, you know what? F all
I ain't
this.
dealing with this no more. Yeah.
Because there's been so much drama with this movie, and
because they've had issues with the DCEU ever since the Man of Steel wasn't a critical success, which is a movie I still largely like. But everything since then, outside of Wonder Woman, because Wonder Woman was well received, and actually Aquaman was pretty great too. But it was a commercial success. But both of those movies, I think, came out after Justice League. And everything leading up to Justice League was a bit of a mess. And so there was issues between Snyder and the producers.
But you have Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and you get Justice League. How many times can you fail? Make this man president. He might as well do that job too. Because anybody can do it. I'm sorry.
One of my... No, go ahead.
It's just, I think it's a cultural thing where certain people, we just say, oh, you are a director and you should do this. And even though you fail, we're going to go to you. Whereas there may be some other people who could do a much better job. That's all. Yeah.
One of my close friends, Wale, said that Zack Snyder makes great movie moments, but not great movies. And I entirely agree with him on that, because there are quite a few cool moments in this movie. But as a whole, this movie is aggressively fine. Like, this movie is so middle of the road. And the worst part about it is there are people who are convinced that this movie is biblical. And my God,
man.
it's definitely filmed like it's biblical. But the actual story,
You're right. There's certain scenes, like one of my favorite scenes of this movie was when you get the introduction of Barry, and there's that girl he was checking out. He was kind of nervous because he's trying to find a job or apply for the job, and then
I don't know how we plan on taking her out, but go ahead.
But like that whole scene that was the most one of the most appropriate use of slow motion, where for a person moves so fast, you have to do slow. And Great storytelling.
The
that was
then-
that was a big advertisement for Click It or Ticket.
the
funny, it's funny when because I heard
Don't eat while driving.
she's Iris West, right?
Yeah.
Iris,
Yeah.
and, it's kind of funny, like she had like this classic. I think there may have been a Corvette or an Impala.
Yeah.
It's like how lazy writers will use objects to breed character. To bring character, like, oh, she drives an old-fashioned car. She's a classic type of person, or she has an eccentric personality.
Mhm.
But in reality, I'm like, that's just a red car that needs a fucking seatbelts, because that shit is
Funny enough, that's not saying that it's it's not a poorly filmed scene, but that's actually one of my least favorite scenes in the movie because it doesn't fit.
No, none at all. None at all. I agree with you 100%.
What do you mean by doesn't fit?
We never see Iris again for
If
the
you cut this
entire
scene out-
movie. That is a scene that could have been in the Flash movie, and then they could have gone somewhere with it. But this part, he has this lovely connection, I guess, whatever, in the slow-mo when he fixes her hair or whatnot in that moment. And then later on in the movie, he's trying to get later on in the movie, he's trying to get at Wonder Woman.
So basically,
I thought you just fell in love with this girl.
He's a womanizer and he's an abuser because he touched that girl without her consent while she was in danger.
Oh wait! Pause! Hold up! What do you? He didn't fall in love with her. He just liked this black.
No. The way that scene was filmed, that was not just some. Oh, she's cool. Nah, bro. No.
I'm sorry.
Nah.
Okay.
Also, Iris West is his big love in the comic books. That is his Lois Lane. So like,
only nerds know that, Marcus.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, what are we doing a podcast on?
I just want
You
to
should
say
go
real
in
quick.
blind like I do. Okay.
Thank God she wasn't ugly because he would have let her ass splat on that truck.
Also, that scene was so ham-fisted. Like this nigga was really trying to get that burger, and I'm like, yo.
But it is an example of all the fluff we got with this 2 hours. Because if you cut that scene out, it would have no effect whatsoever on the.
How did he get back in without cutting up his feet?
I did notice that. Yeah, he ran over the glass again.
He got them tough souls right there. He does payloads. So
Okay. So I actually love that
big
scene.
calluses.
I felt like that scene was important because that was really the first introduction to the Flash being the Flash without being on a CCTV. Like that was him. It wasn't about Iris. It was about him showing off his powers and how fast he is. Like that's how that worked.
Nah, if it wasn't about Iris, they would not have put Iris in that scene.
You can replace her with any other person. That's the reason why she never came back into the entire movie because it was just eye candy. Like that's.
But they put her in that scene deliberately. They put her in. If they could have put anyone else in that scene, they would have. But they put Iris West in that scene.
They put
Zack Snyder is a lover of comic books.
Yeah, exactly. He put her in that scene for her to have more importance in the next movie.
But you understand how in a movie, that's not good storytelling. If you're just putting
that could have been an old lady,
right? If you're just putting a something in there that doesn't have any bearing on the rest of the movie, just because you can.
Yeah, but that's what Zack Snyder does.
But they put Iris in there. Like they could. You're right. They could have put anyone else in there.
This would be a different conversation if in Justice League 2 there's no Iris, but there's no Justice League 2, so we don't know what his intention was afterwards. So
I'm just saying, be a Justice League 2. Move on, fellas.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, I don't think that scene should have been in the movie. I think they could have done it some other way.
As a person who watched the movie just to see what Flash could do, like I thought that was awesome. This Iris person, sure.
What Flash could do.
Yeah, that's what he could do.
Whatever he does can be done quickly.
Poor Iris.
Depending on perspective.
I know, man. She's
the
like,
only thing,
that's it.
The only thing though I will say is that I felt like I love the scene in terms of the aesthetic. I think the humor was lost on me. Like I didn't I think he dwelled a little too much in the slow-mo when he was like moving her slowly. I did like the idea of him like moving her slowly, so when he put her down, like she will be fine. Him coming back into the fucking pet store playing with the dogs. It's just like I thought he was just gonna leave the scene because he just revealed that he has superpowers.
Part of me truly.
Well, no one saw him.
Well, the woman could put two and two. He was right in front of her.
Yeah.
And then when the next thing she looks, the glass is broken. This person is like on the ground and he's playing with the dogs. Like he literally just jumped from being in front of her to the dogs. It's just like, the fuck?
During that sequence, my mind went to a place where when that car flipped violently and exploded, the people that would have died during that portion of the sequence, that Flash didn't save because he was focused
They
on
were ugly.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
They were going to give him what he wanted, so
it was a violent explosion. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Okay, so actually, just to go back to the spoiler-free version of this, where I was talking about Wonder Woman, now I can actually talk about it. I really love the fact that she was literally dodging the bullets in real time, like flailing her arms or whatever, because it's like, yeah, she's that fast that she can do that.
Using the gauntlets to no, that was a cool scene. I actually really enjoyed that sequence. I also appreciate. I will give Snyder this. They were catching bodies. Wonder Woman killed them.
yes, he did.
Is that a
did.
And
oh my God.
They called themselves reactionary terrorists. I was like, okay, big Lord.
Like, Wonder Woman showed right away that she is not Superman or Batman. She will catch a body if it is needed.
Okay, so real quick, just to jump over to Flash again, which it bothered me about like 2 hours into the movie where I was like, wait a minute, the Flash is fucking here. And so basically, the Flash being the Flash, we see how fast he is. He never actually tries to attack Steppenwolf with his speed. And there was, I think, after Steppenwolf took the third mother box, like there was a point where Flash was literally standing right in front of Steppenwolf. Like he could have grabbed the mother box before Steppenwolf teleported. And it was like, that was completely within the right of Flash and what we've seen in terms of his speed. Like the only person that was able to like check him is Superman. So like that, just like that was one thing I was just like, come on.
So I guess you want to just talk about the other characters one by one.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay.
So
any more discussion on the Flash and his endearing only person of comedy here?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd use endearing.
I mean,
I'd use annoying. But
I have a list of things. Y'all want to do this after or before the characters? A short list, kind of.
How short is short? Like 20?
Nah, like, Zack Snyder.
A list of maybe like 10 things, that we could discuss quickly.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Throw it at us.
Real quick. During the Amazon scene where they're fighting Steppenwolf, and the box wakes up, and Steppenwolf comes in, and she's locking down the place. Why, when the girl got shot at the door, did she stop and talk to her as if she was going to save her? When they were sealing the shit and then dropping it into the ocean. What was the point of that?
Wait. I will raise you $5 and ask you, Sean, why was the idea to seal the thing in the first place when the motherfucker teleported into the room?
Yes.
Furthermore,
I was legitimately confused when the thing fell into the ocean. Like I was like, okay, I was like, they're sealing the doors. Yes, I get that, but then it fell off the mountain, and I'm like, how in the hell did this happen? Is they getting their ass beat that bad?
The entire cliff just fell into the ocean.
I was like, so what's the point of stopping and talking to the girls if you're going to save her? Like, okay, whatever.
No, what gets me is why they try. You see this box moving is a dangerous object, and I'm gonna slowly approach it and try to touch it.
Yo,
I don't understand. What are you gonna do with that?
No, they're gonna poke it with a spear.
Why did they give that job to the black woman?
With like 50 of them.
Operation Darky.
Right? Like, why are there like 100 people guarding this box for 5,000 years? This is a waste of resources. Or do y'all just have like high unemployment and this is a job that you need people to do?
They ain't have nothing else to do on Themyscira at the time.
Granted, this is one of the more better secure places for the mother boxes compared to the other.
Oh
You're
yeah.
not
Shit.
wrong. You're not wrong.
Second point. What did they think they were going to do with those horses when this man was jumping whole football fields? They were passing the box back and forth on a horse, and my
Like
man is
rugby.
literally leaping. I say, what is he
Because
doing? What are they doing?
because even if you get your ass kicked, you want to get one punch in. That is why.
You gotta play that game of keep away. You know, they were doing it with the Infinity Gauntlet and Endgame, so you gotta get some keep away here. You know,
Oh, that's right. We got to compete.
Mhm.
This isn't a complaint, but I like how serious Steppenwolf was.
Mhm.
He snatched main man up by the neck and said, "You go get the goddamn box." I thought he was about to throw him in a vat of fire or something, but no, that was literally just a motivational. Hey boy, go get to something. I don't know what kind of employee relationship that is when your employee snatches you up by the neck and throws you on your way.
I just love that.
He's direct. He's direct and honest.
I just love that Sean has like developed a prop humor shtick over the last few months.
Oh my god. that's
Secondly, what's the main man's name? Silas, his father, Silas Stone?
Cyrus.
Oh yeah, Silas Stone.
awesome.
Silas or Cyrus?
It's Silas.
Silas.
Hmm.
They showed Star Labs, and this is the stupidest thing, but it's a side thing, but it's me paying attention to little stupid details. They have metal grate floors with holes in it. What the fuck was the janitor mopping exactly? Where's the water going?
Because he needs a job. No. What upsets me about Silas is he created this being of the sun with this unknown alien object, and it's like, you know, is there anything else you could do with this mind? Like, there's no like coaching. You know, hey, I'm gonna help you out. Dude's like, why did you bring me back to life? I hate you, Dad. But then it's like, this is a very chaotic relationship, and for somebody who was just dead, he didn't go like a Jon Snow, like this is where I came from. How did I get here? It's more of a, I was at a better place than this. Why did you disturb me? And I was like, okay, we don't reflect on resurrections.
I'm removing things from my list because I don't want to be too extraneous. Why did they need a whole lighting ceremony if this shit is supposed to be urgent to light the fire to warn Diana? It was daytime when they all got their ass whooped. They went home, showered, got ready for the function. And came to light.
They put their best dress robes. Come on, man! It's a once in a 5,000 year ceremony. Of course, they will look good.
So, okay, real quick about that. That blew me because it was so confusing. Because I was like, all right, so they're gonna light this thing on Themyscira, and then somehow
Right
Wonder Woman's
now.
gonna see it. And then I was like, oh no, it's an arrow. Okay, so they're gonna shoot the arrow in the sky, and it's gonna be like a firework, and she's
Property
gonna see it?
damage.
I was like,
And
yo, does this
She
arrow
shoots it
have
outside
jet
of
boosters?
Themyscira. Yeah, like,
How did this
Shoots
arrow
it-
get so far?
You guys, it's magic.
No military shot it down.
It's
It
magic.
hit-
bro,
No airplanes.
why didn't she pull up that hard when she was fighting Seppin? Like, where was that shot when she was going against him? Like, what?
Yeah, I mean,
It wasn't a special magic arrow.
You don't need intercontinental ballistics when you
What'd you-
have a arrow.
What'd
Wait, what were you
Jordan?
saying, Jordan?
No, the Acropolis is a pretty popular tourist destination, so them not having a tourist anywhere near when that arrow fell,
Well, you know,
Yeah, ain't nobody.
they gotta be burnt. They burnt.
you know, I was like, man, that's a very lucky shot. Like, you're very lucky no one was at that exact spot.
I mean, if we ask in Wise, why did they have an entire scene of Arthur Curry taking his shirt off, and then this white woman comes and picks his shirt up and sniffs his sweater, and then they sing a whole Icelandic ditty while he goes into the ocean? I'm like, nigga, this is why this movie's 4 hours, because we got scenes like this that have no reason to be in here.
Hey! Why did he throw down that glass bottle? Isn't that gonna
Exactly.
sweep into the ocean? Why is he
Exactly.
littering?
He's polluting the ocean.
Glass is cutting his friends.
John, I was literally about to say that. I was literally about to say you just threw a fucking glass bottle of whiskey into the ocean.
Oh my
No,
god!
you threw it on the pier first. That means it broke. There's broken glass
Yes.
he's swimming through. Okay. Diana got the arrow. She went into that secret cave that looked like it had been sealed for a couple thousand years, right?
millennia.
She knew. Apparently, we just had to assume that she just knew. They taught her it. I guess
That's not my issue. That's not my issue. She goes in there, and there are parts of the wall that are decayed, like falling off, but the floor is completely clean. Who's coming in here on weekends and sweeping this shit up?
It's the same janitor from Star Labs. He's got a double shift.
Like, why is there no dirt on the floor in this? Okay.
it's like in Game of Thrones when they have the whole scene. It's like, oh no, if Jamie and Cersei just moved 2 feet to the left, they would have survived.
Right,
Who knew?
right. Oh my gosh.
That's okay.
Victor is in the car with his mother after the football game.
My baby.
He sounds like he's used to disappointment. He's in college at this point. Why is he crying over his father not being at the game? You're a grown ass man. You ain't get over this shit yet.
It's his father who probably got him into that school.
And then he's crying like it's his father's fault that she died. No, it's your fault because you were crying and she was trying to console you and she was distracted. You killed your mother.
That line, the line where he said she'd still be alive if you were there, that didn't make any sense because I'm like, no, all three of y'all would have been dead is what would have happened.
Yeah,
I don't want me no more, man.
I don't know if that's the case, sir.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know about that, buddy.
Unless your dad was going to be outside the car, stopping the car from crashing.
But
into
did
your
you
mother.
Because that truck was going like 100 miles an hour. He was probably trying to get his burger too. He was.
I was about to say, doesn't that feel a bit repetitive though that you have yet another car smashing accident? Like, not much creativity.
So there ain't no police.
Well, if
just
it works, right?
the speed limits, there ain't no speed trap. But okay, no. Moving on. Who been lining Victor up? Who's been giving this man a shape up? Because
yo,
he's been scared to go into public. Well, my man got the crispiest fucking lineup ever.
But no, my issue is that the makeup on his is quite obvious because I'm like, you look like you are my age in your 30s playing a college football game. I don't believe you. You're not Stacey Dash and Clueless. You are obviously too damn old, and the cake is showing. So that bothered me.
That's actually a good point because he's supposed to be. Is he like supposed to be a similar age to like Flash in this?
Yes.
Yep.
And he's a grown at. You can see the fine line in his forehead.
Well, maybe he's a senior. Maybe he just stayed back.
I also am not really a fan of how they made Flash basically a teenager, and then Bruce Wayne has been at the game for like 20 something years by this point. Like, I was like, that's a choice. That's a choice that was made.
That's one of the things I missed. It seemed like, and I guess we could talk more about it later when we talk about Cyborg as a character, but I missed the camaraderie that he had in the Whedon cut because it gave some emotional validation for why he would reach this emotional, I guess, arc that we're supposed to get at the end of this movie. Whereas now he's just brooding. And I mean, I would be upset if my dad gave me this metallic body and no penis, so I'd be upset. But like,
but he can make his own penis.
What is this?
No, maybe he wanted to leave that to him, like Cyberpunk. I mean, he has extra arms. He can make an extra penis or three.
Call me Cyborg, aka Ken doll.
Speaking of Cyborg, though, like that, I don't care what cut it is. That nigga looks trash. Like his, he does not look good. But
especially that final scene where they have like the really glowed up and you have the flash in the back, and I'm like, that is not.
They could have made him an Iron Man style outfit.
You need a God. This is a movie you want to forget for more than one reason.
I do agree though, with you, Doug, where I do miss his arc in the theatrical cut as opposed to the Whedon cut, because even though DJ brought up a good point before we started this, where he basically said that it would make sense for him to be able to pick up on his powers quickly because the moment he gets like connected to the web, he basically has access to all types of knowledge. But I like the way that they mapped it out in the theatrical cut because we kind of see him grow over the course of the movie and see him kind of become not only just acclimated to his new reality, but acclimated to working with people. And, he strikes up this kind of cool little dynamic with Flash. And, like, I liked where
There's a
he went.
generational divide.
So then you get to the point at the end of the movie where Superman shows up and like Superman helps him pull apart the mother boxes and they're on the floor. And then what's his name? Cyborg says something along the lines of like, I can't feel my leg, or like, I'm like my body hurts. And then Superman agrees with him and they laugh on the floor. And I'm like, this is a nice moment. This is a really nice moment.
Wait,
I appreciate.
That happens when?
In the theatrical cut.
Oh,
it does?
Okay.
Yeah, it does.
I completely forgot about that.
I remember that scene because it's one of my favorite scenes in the movie, but in this, it just kind of it's not there.
He's like,
I
have a family now. And it's like you were just upset and brooding for 3 hours and 45
like
minutes. This
man in the theatrical cut, they like have this whole thing where Cyborg and Flash have like connected. Flash is trying to give him a fist bump at several times during the movie. He doesn't give it to him. So when he gives it to him at the end of the movie, it's like, hey, they're friends now. At the end of this movie, they fist bump, and I'm like, when do y'all be what?
Yeah, look at them
established.
And look at them at the cemetery scene. In the cemetery scene, they were like, I could do it, and there's no like it's like
there's no chemistry.
This in a millisecond.
Yeah, there's no chemistry there, man.
Not whatsoever.
I mean, have you ever tried to have a conversation with Siri or like Google Assistant? It's really tough. So I can understand the no chemistry thing.
And Siri ain't a cyborg. Go ahead, Jordan. Go ahead, Jordan.
My question is, where's Cyborg with that stimulus check? All the financial information, because I mean,
we're gonna get our whole $2,000, huh?
Right.
It was just a weird scene, at least how it was shot. He was
with him like infiltrating the people's lives and
the cameras were set up in such a way to which you can tell whether or not people were tipping the waitress, and then like he put a value judgment. Like it was a way, at least that sequence scene.
Yeah,
he could have been a villain in Watch Dogs. Yeah,
for Zack Snyder to communicate that Cyborg is a great, virtuous guy.
I actually really liked that as well because it was very much so. I
didn't like that.
No, well, it was just like his dad was like, "Hey, look, you have fucking great power, and you could literally destroy the world. But like, I know you're a good person, and I know that you will do right with these powers." And like, it literally showed him like, because at first when he walked into that like cyber room, I was like, "Is that supposed to be buildings or something?" And it was only after where like he like increased that person's money. It was like, "Oh, this is all the money in the fucking world." Oh shit!
But that scene makes the fuck the world scene later make no sense.
Yep.
Because he saw all the shit that Trump was doing.
Trump wasn't even a thing at that time.
Yeah. Yes, he was.
But
he was the president.
Wait, he was?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, do you feel like Cyborg? Do you think Cyborg would have been? Oh, I'll feel it this way. Do you think had there been maybe a black writer or a black director, you may have a little more nuance with Cyborg?
I'm not necessarily sure. I'm not really sure. I just think that like we were saying earlier, they crammed too much in this movie. This movie is an origin story for 3 of the members of the team.
Yeah.
And it's just like, why would
I'd say even more than that? Shit, Martian Manhunter and all them.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay, since we're spoiling things, let me talk to you.
Spoiler section.
I know that's what I'm saying, but since we're spoiling,
before you jump in, Sean, do you have any more on your list?
Oh yeah, right.
Oh, just why is the Atlantis mother box up some steps if they can all swim?
also, where did Mira's accent come from? Because it wasn't there in the Aquaman movie.
Again, they don't.
Person that played her, right?
It's a different person, right?
No, it's the same person.
It's Amber Heard.
It is the same actress. And in this movie, she got a thick accent, and then in the Aquaman movie, it's not there.
The other dude has long hair, and this one in Aquaman movie is much
closer.
Willem Dafoe?
Yeah.
So who is the person with the red hair in the Aquaman movie?
It's the same one.
Amber
It's
Heard.
just they turned up the Instagram filter on her hair.
it turns out she will no longer be Mara going forward. They make her Aquaman film.
Yeah.
Well, fortunately,
Tragic.
but it was like, yeah, she did some pretty fucked up shit offset.
But
All right. So, Sean, you got any more on your list?
Lastly, and it's a comment. It's not a complaint.
Mm-hmm.
They were all fighting. What was this? After they got the prisoners, or they're fighting the prisoners, they're fighting Steppenwolf.
Oh
Like
yeah.
after he was interrogating people, they're all fighting, and Superman is getting his ass washed, and he's like, "Yo,
Wait, Superman's getting what?
You mean Batman?
no, Batman.
Oh yeah.
Batman." He's like, "Alfred, send the goddamn Nightcrawler. I'm getting my ass beat here. What are you doing, nigga?
Yo.
Help me!"
Batman
struggling.
Okay.
was having difficulties throughout this movie.
Bro.
Yes.
Okay, so real talk. The way they portrayed Batman in this movie made me laugh to the point where I needed to take a break because my lungs were just having it. Yo, Batman got washed in that fight in particular so effectively that for the rest of the movie, he's like, fuck it. I'm not fighting people. I'm shooting
I'm a skunk
motherfuckers.
dude.
Like I'm
He will
done with it.
He will drive fast. He will fly you around. He's like, I feel like I saw DJ. It seemed like I had a lot more parallels with this and the Avatar. Like he was a Akami. Like you're just a rich person. You don't have superpower, but you kind of help out.
Yep.
Batman remembered that he was like, oh, these people got powers.
Right.
Batman over here talking about, I don't have my prep time, so I can't do anything.
Batman is the Uber XL for the team.
Yeah.
With some guns.
Yo, at the end of that fight in the middle of the movie, Batman looked to his left and right. I'm the only one that's bleeding right now. Fuck all you.
He's like, I have internal bleeding right now. They're like, you good?
Yeah, it was very weird. Aquaman just showing up and holding the tide, but it didn't seem like that mattered at all.
Even that was weird because it's just like, all right, Aquaman, like if you're trying to get with them, close up the fucking hole. Like, what are you doing?
Actually, let's talk more about Aquaman. How do you feel about his portrayal in this movie?
The same thing I would have told in Aquaman in the last one. It's still Jason.
He wasn't that different from the theatrical cut version, but I did kind of like how in the theatrical cut he was a little. I like how in the theatrical cut he was a bit more of a bro.
Yeah.
In this one, he's just kind of there, and I mean, he looks cool.
Sulking.
He does look cool.
Incredible chest.
Great chest. Amazing tattoos.
Crazy.
Yeah, I agree with Marcus in terms of like, because I actually remember most of the scenes from Aquaman in the theatrical cut because it was like, oh, this is cool. I actually like his portrayal. Where in this, it was very much so like he doesn't know exactly where he fits in. Like he does kind of joke sometimes, but then other times he's really serious, and it's just like, all right, like.
Yeah, like at one point he was like, "Yo, fuck this cyborg dude. He's made out of the same shit as these boxes." And cyborg guy's like, "What did I do?"
No, I don't blame him for being skeptical in that moment. He was like, he could be working for the. I don't know about y'all, but I don't trust that dude right there.
But then, like a few minutes later, he's like, "How's your friend?" I mean, he just saw his dad die, and it's like, I don't think Braylon's that close to him. I don't. Now you care. It was weird. I don't care. He has a very, it seems like a very inconsistent direction in this movie.
Oh,
I also liked how in the. Go ahead.
This is actually a thing that I remembered about Batman that made me like also just laugh hysterically. Quick side note. The part where they all pulled up to Steppenwolf's like base or whatever. Yeah. And they all stepped out of the ship and did like the whole like dramatic like exit, and then Batman just kind of went back in.
I just want to be in the shot, yo. I want to be in the selfie.
He's like, all right, God bless.
Y'all gonna tell me anything about me? No, whatever.
He knows where he should be and where he shouldn't.
I mean, like, I look at that. I'm like, each one of these people could get to this point without any vehicle transportation. why they were in the bat jet wing, whatever the fuck it was.
Well, Aquaman needed some help. I mean, he could glide,
Okay,
but
you know, I'll give you Aquaman.
he's literally a fish out of water.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, I keep on telling folks that, you know, anytime Aquaman is brought on board onto a mission, whether it be in space or in the desert or just in a forest, is a fucking joke. Like they're bringing him on. It's like, yo, watch the motherfucker struggle, you know.
but you know, I think Jordan, that's the reason why they cast somebody like Jason Momoa, because
yeah,
he can still fight. He can still land a punch.
Yeah.
He's still a big boy. You
Right.
know.
Yeah, I was like, I don't remember.
I do like
Aquaman having all this.
I do like Bruce and
But yeah, let's
because
talk about
he's
Batman.
well,
Let's talk
real
about
quick,
Bruce.
the Aquaman that we have right now is very modeled off of the 90s run where Aquaman does, like, he's got a hook hand and he's got a beard and long hair and like it's more off of that, not the Super Friends Aquaman that people think Aquaman is. But but I do like I'm sorry. That caught me off guard. I did like Bruce, and especially I like his relationship with Alfred in this, where like Alfred is just taking the piss out of Bruce the entire movie.
Yeah.
Jeremy Irons.
I love
great Alfred.
Yeah. I love when Alfred is fed up with Bruce because I understand Alfred. Where I'm just like, exactly, of course, he's a ridiculous person. But like, I like the way that they had that portrayal. I like the way that Bruce's pursuit of the rest of the members of the Justice League was a little more fleshed out in this. So we kind of see him go from place to place and have issues kind of connecting at first. So he has to bring in Diana, and, you know, just like it does give the because half of the movie is forming the team, half of the movie is the Mother Box race. And of the two parts of the movie, I probably liked the formation of the team more, because when you get to the Mother Box race stuff, like, they were padding the hell out of the time for the Earth search for the Mother Box, because let me tell
you, that was another issue I had. How did he not remember that he left the Mother Boxes on Earth? That's the one place you got your ass beat, and then you didn't have them again after.
Bruh, how first off, Darkseid is useless in this movie.
Yes.
Darkseid pulled up, and this was funny to me because a lot of the Snyderverse people were just like, man, Thanos ain't got nothing on Darkseid. This nigga Darkseid showed up to get washed and sent back home. This man got cut. He fainted at the sight of his own blood. And then he sent his ass right back home. And I don't understand how he forgot where the anti-life equation was, because he activated it while they were fighting. So how did he not know where Earth was?
So I have two theories.
They gave him temporary amnesia when they beat his ass.
I have two theories.
Got a concussion.
One theory is that like, he literally got beat to the point where he was in a stupor. He had no idea what was going on anymore. And then the other theory is that every world that he conquers, he literally does the same thing, like feels the soil, feels moist, and then he does the hammer thing. And then, like, I think I'm guessing the idea was that he does the hammer thing and he pulls out to see, like, okay, this is actually the place that has the anti-life.
But because the hammer thing was the anti-life equation, like the what is it?
The Omega symbol.
Yeah. That was the anti-life equation, because that's how Steppenwolf realized that it was on Earth.
Right.
So I don't understand.
Inside comic baseball.
I think it's Steppenwolf's vision. He was because it was a vision, he was able to kind of pull out and actually see, like, oh, this is it. Like, Earth is it. Like, that's how I kind of reasoned in my head. Because anyway,
but like I will give you that. If maybe Darkseid was just going from planet to planet and he didn't even regard what the planet was, so he just happened to show up at this place, and he got washed.
Okay, but
so
they don't got no interns paying attention. The people that like loaded them onto the ship and
they're illiterate. They just fly around like flies.
You got an advanced enough civilization where you got warships But you mean to tell me you don't know geography or anything? Like you don't know?
Don't nobody take inventory when they
Oh,
leaving and
no,
coming
no.
back.
What you guys missed?
They don't
in
do
the-
exit interviews, unfortunately.
What you guys missed in the extended Snyder cut is that he actually killed those two of the embarrassment because they were the only ones that knew that he got washed this badly, and he was like, "I can't have this."
Yo, I had to
So-
pause the movie because I was laughing so hard when this nigga Darkseid got cut like that. I was cackling. I was like, Thanos texted him after that, and he was just
Bruh.
like, "Damn, nigga."
Bruh.
Hey, did y'all
I-
see Great Value Leonidas in the movie?
Yo, that was so weird to me. I was like,
That was
who is
Zeus.
this guy? Yeah, it was Zeus. Yeah. But
I
like,
thought that was Ares.
No, it was
No,
Zeus.
Ares was the one with the helmet on with the horn.
Oh,
Yeah.
Zeus had the lightning strike. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Kind of does point that, you know, if I were to put that team, because like they made it a point that Earth was unified
Mhm.
in the fight against Darkseid the first time around.
Yeah.
Steppenwolf was making a point. Steppenwolf was making a point that now that Earth is divided and, you know, all fucked up and, you know, having all these issues, it will be fairly easy. And
Yeah, it's like now Darkseid wants the smoke because you know they can't jump him. I
If
will
it-
say though,
if the ending premonition does become a thing, then
mhm,
that'll be the reason why.
that
This is what
One
I
other
say-
thing.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I literally like yelled this out too because it was just like, oh, this is literally fucking Marvel all over again. When what's it, fucking God of War, whatever. When he put the X down on Darkseid's collarbone, I was like, you should aim for the fucking head. Like, what are you doing?
Stormbreaker.
Right.
That heroic age scene though, that is one of my favorite scenes in the movie because if there's one thing that I will always compliment Snyder on is he understands iconography and he is obsessed with the mythology of things.
Yeah.
And I think that scene was an opportunity for him to indulge in that aspect of the DC universe has always had a bigger mythology than Marvel, where
Yeah.
like these are gods, these are titans. And I appreciated that scene because it felt like he was like, this is the grandiose nature of what I see in the DC universe. And it actually translated well in that scene. It hasn't translated well in a lot of the other stuff, but this, I think it worked.
So I'm gonna pivot back to a couple of other characters here who is a living god, that is Wonder Woman. So
Wait. There's one other thing. One other thing that like got me.
see, there
about
was
this
the
movie.
tracks, and then we're going with the tracks.
I know. I'm sorry. one more thing. When Darkseid or whoever bodied the Green Lantern, and the ring leaves the person's finger, and then it stops at Darkseid, and it's like,
It's
are
like
you
maybe
saying he's worthy of being a Green Lantern? And then it like zooms off. I'm like,
He's a man with a plan, and he's executing them. He's a
He has a lot of
leader.
will.
He's able to organize a great
I
fleet of
mean,
people.
Darkseid did kill its master, so he was like,
I think the green rings are based off of willpower, so
yeah,
Darkseid had a lot of willpower.
Yeah.
yeah. Until he got cut.
But yeah, continue.
So,
Oh, we lost shot.
oh no!
Talking about things getting cut.
he had to return to his home planet.
But I want to talk about Wonder Woman because she has, I think, a very different treatment in this movie versus the others.
Mhm.
And especially the fact that Wonder Woman, she at least Whedon, I think, are much more of a sympathetic role, whereas in this movie, it seemed like she's like, something bad happened. We should do something about this bad thing. We gotta do the obligatory. Yeah, her boyfriend died from 50 years ago, and while she got great fight scenes,
Yeah,
it's like it's not.
Wonder Woman was
Not
there
a whole
to.
lot.
Wonder Woman was there to be a badass. I in terms of character development, I didn't really see much.
Nope.
I liked how in the theatrical cut, how Batman called her out for being inactive for years. Like I appreciated that because that's a question that I feel like a lot of people had. Like, where was you at during World War II? I mean, what's going on? But in this, it was just kind of like, Well, she's here.
Thanks for showing up this time.
Right. And
Go ahead.
She was in this movie along with the Amazon so they could play 2 tracks.
Yeah.
Her theme and then that random European wailing noise.
Yeah.
Every time the Amazons or Diana did anything, she could take a deep breath in and they play that song.
I mean, it's kind of fire though.
It is.
Maybe the first couple times,
yeah.
but
It's like the score. The score on this movie is quite off, and I think it's someone from the Polygons review made a note that like I think the change in the sounds is purposeful for her because the Whedon sound, her soundtrack is so tightly close to the trailer version of it. So in order to make this distinctively the Snyder cut, he's going with random European whales. I mean, we applied that to Aquaman.
Siri, play the Halo theme.
No, you know what? Screw that. It should have been. Wonder Woman. Like then this becomes a must watch because they're fucking cowards.
Now I will say this: I was surprised when I saw her flying. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought we just had to go through a whole progression of her flying because in a way, I guess the prequel, she's learning her craft in Earth, at least Earth proper. So when I saw her flying around, I'm like, how did this happen? There's no foundation here. And so,
I mean, Wonder Woman 84 would have taken place before this, so she should already know how to fly. But I mean, that's neither here nor there.
Man, Wonder Woman 84 did indeed happen before this movie, and that's a movie I wish didn't happen.
I like 84. I like 84. All right, so what about Superman? All 15 minutes of him.
Look.
Go ahead,
the scenes that Superman were in, he was dope. that nigga showed up. That nigga showed up for the smoke, and he gave the smoke on every occasion. Steppenwolf tried to swing at him, and he was like mediocre, and he just started washing that man. But the decisions that were made, first off, I don't understand why when Superman came back, he wasn't dead for that long.
Nope.
That he just didn't know who anything was. Like he was just like
he didn't decompose.
I think what happened there.
But he had a pair of black track pants in the casket just in case. So he didn't come back resurrected naked.
Exactly.
Or in a suit. We couldn't. Like, pack my Nikes in there.
We couldn't go full Dr. Manhattan for him, okay? If he would have showed up Dick Out Dave, it would have been a different movie.
A more entertaining movie, damn it.
Go ahead, DJ.
So I in terms of how I'm like rationalizing this in my head in terms of why he didn't remember them was because I think, for example, when you die or whatever, you experience brain damage, right? Like your brain
happened to me. That's what happened.
It happened to me last week.
Pretty much.
I die recreationally.
I have a hard life. I mean, God.
It's how I get my benefits.
Look, Jordan's either dead or frozen. What's going on over there? Wait, Jordan, you frozen?
Oh,
no,
God.
He came back like Superman.
But yeah, like in my mind, I looked at it like, oh, there he goes.
Oh.
Look what you did.
Back like Superman, out like Batman. But yeah, so in terms of Superman, I feel like because he had that brain damage, the mother box brought him back, but his mind was altered in a way, and he had to like. I think because Lois was so important to him, that kind of like triggered the start to like reforming those memories.
Can I
Yeah.
say though? That's a straight trope. That's a straight. That's a
Yeah,
straight.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not saying it
Because-
was well done at all. I'm just
Yeah,
saying, like, in my mind, that's how I kind of like
Yeah.
envisioned it.
I kind of wish it was more like a Game of Thrones, that where you at least have some foundation. Like, oh, he was dead, so there should
Or
be
if
some
it was
shock
like-
all around for everybody. Like,
Yeah.
Or,
we saw
or
this
maybe
man die.
like, you know, the way that the Kryptonian physiology or whatever, just like, you know, you have to reboot or whatever. Because like,
No, it takes
It
Lois
just-
to be like, honey, I know there's a beam of flashing light that can kill me right over there, but I'm gonna walk right here. You're going, honey, Clark.
right.
And it's like, this is
Hey,
This
she
is-
saved Bruce's life, by the
Yeah,
way, because he
she
ain't had no
did.
gauntlets left.
Yeah.
That was
he
like,
used
thank
both
God,
of
thank
his
God, thank God. Batman was preaching about faith this entire movie and it finally paid off for him.
But it was just weird to me to see like Superman just like, okay, he doesn't recognize any of the Justice League members because he's never met them. Fine,
Yeah.
cool. But then like he sees
And
like,
that black dude over there pops off and he's like, fuck black people now, let's go. Like,
I mean,
well,
admittedly, Cyborg is made of like the mother box reacted to Superman.
but that's not how Fox News perceives it, okay?
but sorry. My mother box is from a different generation. I'm so sorry.
But
Yeah.
like then just him like attacking, like, you know, in any other case, fine, attack the cops. But there's like just seeing seeing like Superman doing it in like I just don't understand why
Why the
Or
cops
why
don't wanna do
nobody-
anything? Why are they
or why
even there?
nobody tried to talk to him. Like all that Lois did was just scream his government name at him. And it's just like,
Yes.
could you like say other things instead of just that? Like just try to
Because-
explain to him what's happening. You know, I don't know.
Because the one problem with these superhero movies is that we still uniformly treat women as pacifiers of men.
Mm. Mhm.
And
Because
it's
also-
like,
Mm.
Speaking on that
That's
same
it.
trope, speaking on that same trope, Lois had nothing to do in this movie. She was in 4 hours of bereavement. Like she had no agency. She never went back to work. It's just like
no, she bought coffee.
she bought coffee to the cops and cried the entire.
A man pulled her back into this whole thing.
I want to say that is peak privilege because she hadn't been back to work, and I'm sure her job was still there waiting for her.
Yeah, it really was. She just was not at work.
Was like, she's my best writer.
How
But she's
did
always in
Martha?
Kansas.
How did Martha fall back on her payments and lost her house, but Lois did not?
Also,
And you're-
where is Martha? Because the last
no.
time we saw Martha Kent, it was Martian Manhunter. Where is
No.
Martha Kent?
Marsha,
Wait, was that not
Marsha
her
pulled
in the-
up at the house. That was actually
yeah, was that
Marsha.
not her?
Yeah.
No, I know.
the house
but
been
like-
close to palm.
But like
gotta
when we
be in a
see her
victory.
and it's Martian Manhunter, where's Martha at?
Like
Like,
U-Haul truck.
is she okay?
She's
Where-
homeless.
She probably
She
home minding
homeless.
her business. She don't care about Lois.
She is in the U-Haul truck chilling. That's what she is. You know, she can't.
I mean,
She
like,
can't
plot-
afford. You know,
Plot
a
twist
RV.
that the Kents were fairly, religious, and they found out that Lois and Superman had sexual relations, and
Jack it up.
I'm never you corrupted my alien child.
I think that Superman, while it's nice to see Superman, I just felt like they brought him back way too soon because they wrote themselves into a corner of we can't beat Steppenwolf without Superman. So we need him back. And even the choices that they made, like him putting on the black, like walking literally by his red suit and putting on the black suit, I'm like, for what? Like,
Because
yeah,
it's a sense.
it's like
I-
sure, it's a throwback to the Death of
90s.
Superman
and,
story.
Maybe Superman thought this is the cleaner outfit. The red and black one is
This
still
shit,
look
I'm about
dingy.
to pull up and stun on these niggas.
Exactly. It's
But-
like I got my
okay.
Jordans on. I got my black suit.
Well, like Marcus,
got nice fresh gel in my head.
if I'm not mistaken, Marcus, you know the comics better than the majority of us, but the black suit was like that was to heal Superman, like that.
Yeah.
Suit, like,
Yeah, in the comic books, him wearing that suit had a reason. They literally in this movie had him walk past his original, like his suit, to put on this other suit because fan service. That's it. Like there was
He
no
said,
other
Gucci
reason.
on my
So-
shirt,
so-
Gucci on my hose, nigga.
So real quick about the shirt or about the suit, I actually interpret that a little differently because I actually paused on that scene to look at the suit that was like in the back right because it looked like the Lex Luthor suit with the 4 circles on the chest or whatever. But then I was actually looking at the other suits because like, oh, the suit on the left is like his Superman suit. The suit on the right looks like a black a battle suit or something. Like it
Yeah,
looks
it's
like
a
clean or
Kryptonian
whatever.
Kryptonian battle suit.
Yes. So based off of the like camera work or whatever, it looked like he stopped and looked at that suit, but then he pulled up in the black Superman suit. And I think what happened there was he was listening to both of his fathers and he decided to essentially embrace both of them. So that's why he had the Superman colored suit, but it was black.
But were they
But-
ever
but-
in
but it-
conflict?
But at what at what point, like because look, all right, if I could
Marcus,
just
you
watch
need to see
this
the
movie,
extended cut. That's
No.
all. Just start campaigning for that and we can have a 6-hour movie. Let's go. We can
if I
do
could
this.
just watch this movie with my brain off because I know it's stupid, I would enjoy it. But this movie at every turn is trying to tell me that all of this means something and it's supposed to be so revelatory.
No.
So I'm looking for meaning in some of these scenes and I'm like,
Marcus, it meant something. Not anymore. It meant something.
so yeah, I don't know, man, but like
So can we talk about before we get off? Can we talk about Steppenwolf a little bit, just tiny bit? Because my issue with Steppenwolf is that he reminded me of
Skin.
Oh. Like I said, he reminded me of Zuko from Avatar. He's
Hey guys,
fighting
Zuko here.
for his. he just wants his honor. He just wants his honor back.
Right. No,
I
you're
wanna-
right. You're right.
And
I
is there
want to know what
anything-
Steppenwolf did because Steppenwolf was in the doghouse and he's Darkseid's uncle. So like Uncle
Steppenwolf is-
Really?
Uncle Steppenwolf did something.
I didn't know
Shit,
that.
I didn't know that. That was a relationship
Yeah.
between the two.
Yeah,
But
Uncle
no, that's
Steppenwolf
just
did something.
if there's anything good from the Snyder cut, at least know more about Steppenwolf's motivations. Because in the theatrical cut, you don't get nearly much information other than he's just wants power. So I would
Yeah.
say
He
if
tried to
there's one
touch him on his
compliment,
apocalypse.
there's that.
No, because in the theatrical cut, it almost feels like he's got an Oedipus complex because he just keeps chasing these mother boxes and like,
Mhm.
but there's not a whole lot else that's brought into that. With this, at least the motivation does seem clear. He's trying to redeem himself and get back in favor with Darkseid and whatnot. It's like that works, you know, that
Yes.
for his motivation and the fact that he was about that action from the jump, there was stakes there. He's like, I have urgency. I want to make this happen. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. I like
Yeah.
Steppenwolf in this.
Yeah,
Cool.
I mean, I liked him as a character too. He was washing people. He was a convincing villain. When he showed
He
up,
was
it was like,
Directly
I
to the
might
point.
die
He
here.
didn't waste any words. Like
Nothing.
when they first broke into the complex towards the end of the movie, he didn't say get them or stop them, kill them.
Yeah.
yep, right.
Man,
No.
a few words.
No, I don't understand why they kidnapped like 9 people because they were close to the mother box, but these aren't like 9 people that are trained to resist torture. These are regular citizens. So why did you have such a hard time getting any information out? And then on top of that, the person with the strongest, closest, I guess, mother box residue was there the entire time. You mean to tell me you couldn't sniff that out right away and just immediately talk to him?
Hey, you know what? I will take that question, Marcus, and I'll raise you another question.
He was using
Why
a speed
was-
stick. So now, go ahead.
Why was no one going after just Cyborg alone? He's literally has mother box energy all over him. He's part mother box. Yet he was just like, nah, you know, whatever. I'm just chilling.
Gotta
here,
gotta pad
the-
gotta pad that 4 hours, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta pad that
see,
4.
And that's one thing. If we can move from character, is talking more about just the story, because this is not an essay where you have to fill the page or a word count. This is a movie.
Mhm.
Was this 4 hours worth it?
No,
It could have been cut down to like 3.
exactly.
I can
It
see
really
where some
could've.
things were needed, but you could have cut an hour out of it probably.
You really
Here's
could've.
the thing. Here's the thing. I yes, I
You're going
agree
to
that it
express the
could be cut down.
contrarian view.
Not really. we'll see how it goes. I liked I didn't mind the 4 hours. It didn't really feel like 4 hours to me because I was just watching the pretty thing
Yeah,
happen on
I
screen.
feel you.
Yeah, and like I feel like I wouldn't mind if like the bigger Marvel movies end up being like 3 hours long. Because I
Like
feel like
Endgame.
if it's smartly used,
Yeah.
used.
I mean, Endgame and Infinity War were basically 3 hours.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
Bet. All right, I don't even have to say any shit.
But Endgame,
That's all I wanted.
Endgame Infinity Wars kept your attention all that time. Like I
They
didn't fall
also-
asleep.
Mhm.
They also earned that time.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
You know?
I honestly don't believe that this movie is. I mean, like it just shows how inefficient of a storyteller Zack Snyder is. It shouldn't take you 4 hours to explain an idea, which it took. I mean, it was better. It was more cohesive,
Mhm.
and I was able to comprehend what was going on more clearly in this 4 hour endeavor versus Josh Whedon's.
Where everything kind of zipped past.
Because like it was basically a director taking another director's vision and making it, appealing for audiences, I guess, for the general audiences. But us having this clear Zack Snyder product, yeah, it's unless you need to know what Zack Snyder was talking about in original form, I say watch this. But for everyone else who kind of just saw the last film as like a date movie, or it was just on that weekend, or just getting in on the hype and have no investment in this DC expanding universe, totally pass on it.
I honestly, I tell if you even a little interested, just watch it. Like, because once again, I don't hate this movie. I just wish I felt stronger in any direction for this movie because it's 4 hours and there was so much fanfare and hullabaloo around this movie even becoming a thing that I wanted to feel something
This
deeper.
is
I was
not
sitting
their
there-
Endgame. I see a lot of people caping hard for this movie.
Yeah, bro.
And this is
like,
not it.
It's
No,
like
I expected
go
something
ahead.
magical, quite frankly. Everybody was like, the Snyder Cut is going to make things better and amazing. And
It's
I'm
gonna
like,
be the Lord of the
this
Rings
is-
of superhero movies.
it reminded me of The Watchmen, which I love the comic book, The Watchmen. Zack Snyder did the movie of it. And it seemed like he has this linear focus of storytelling that doesn't have a nuance or gray area. And so I have these one-sided characters that I'm
That man is
supposed
black
to
and
feel.
white.
It's like
Yes.
I'm supposed to feel a certain way, but he didn't put the foundation for that emotional payback. So you have moments where characters are having this epiphany, and I'm supposed to just accept it. Like a true epiphany is something that we saw build up to
Like-
this moment.
Like Lois saying that I'll never love anyone like Clark, and over the 3 movies, I just never got this long-lasting love feel from the both of them because they didn't spend the time with them, And so watching Lois grieve the entire movie, it's like, okay, I get it because I get it because the story is that way, but in terms of emotional investment, I didn't feel anything because I'm just like, well, I'm not glommed onto this. I don't feel that attachment to this version of your relationship. I know that Lois and Clark are in game always. Actually, though, we were talking earlier about what Zach was going to try to do going forward. Did you know that in the sequel, he was going to have Bruce Wayne fall in love with Lois?
Yeah.
Which
I saw that.
is trash. Bull shit.
Well, I mean,
Ass.
I'm just saying you can only get so far on a journal's on a journalism paycheck.
I don't know how she kept her house.
Yeah.
Well, but that's the thing. I feel like one of the greatest flaws about Zack Snyder and why I guess I see why he'd be, I guess, in desperation went for Josh Whedon is that I feel like when Zack Snyder makes a product, it's almost as if he's doing it not for the general public, but for a certain clique. Like you're invited, everybody's invited to watch, but he's really only talking to a special feel.
Mm.
And so
Right.
if you don't have the background already from reading the comics and following this franchise, he just seems just lost and disjointed. Like that's why my greatest critique is that he's not I don't think he's that good of a director because he doesn't show much growth in storytelling, and he's only really talking to a very narrow audience.
He's a subpar storyteller, but a great visual director. And I think that there is. I also want to preface, I would have been fine with a Snyder verse that was well thought out and was mapped out. Because I don't need all of these superhero movies to feel like Marvel. So, like,
Yes.
if Snyder wanted to have this very, very serious and mythological thing, I'm cool with that. But it just wasn't mapped out well. And because of that, on top of the fact that people are telling us that it's so great, it's kind of like, no, it's not. And you're cutting down Marvel because you're just like, oh, well, Marvel does all this stuff, but Snyder does it this way. And it's like, it's not the problem that they're doing it differently. It's just one was mapped out well, and this one wasn't. And that's the main problem.
And Zack Snyder, I mean, DC traditionally have done, we give you a director may have 3 or 4 movies. They tell a very short arc. There's not 20 movies over many different directors. And I like that difference. These directors can put their own spin on a character. And maybe it seems like they're trying to get back that way. But I think one of the worst things that they could have done, and show that quite clearly, is that if you're in a competition, do something different. Don't try to imitate. Imitation is not a key to success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last question before we wrap up, though. What did you guys think of the epilogue?
I liked it. I wish. Man, I really wish we got this version of Joker instead of that bullshit we got in Suicide Squad. You good over there, man?
Yeah, you right?
I know. I was moving my leg around.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
I really liked that Joker interaction, which is crazy enough because they didn't even film the scene together. I don't know how he did.
Yeah,
that.
they did.
Yeah. Okay, so I didn't like the epilogue. I felt like it shouldn't have been epilogue. It should have been at the start or something because that was the mission that Bruce was talking about. In terms of that Joker scene, I found it very confusing because it made it seem like that Joker was supposed to be like Jason Todd, right? The one, but then
that would be a great story, DJ.
Yes. But wait. It gets better because then Joker or Batman flips it on him and was talking about Harley Quinn. But it's like that Jason Todd didn't interact with Harley Quinn, right? Because that was actually Joker's like pal, like gal pal kind of thing.
Yeah.
Abusive
Something
girlfriend,
like that.
basically.
Well, no, because this Joker isn't Jason Todd.
It's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it's not Jason Todd. But yeah, no, this is just the Joker.
Yeah.
I didn't need an epilogue. I did not.
Yeah. I didn't like the fact that Deathstroke was in the group. Tim was like, we just
that was supposed to be setting up the solo Batman movie.
It was also
Deathstroke.
supposed to be intrigue. Like, okay, how did we get to this point where Deathstroke is on the team and he's got to? And I'm kind of middle of the road where it's like, did I need this? Not really. But this is kind of interesting. And I did, because I enjoy Jared Leto's Joker more than I probably should. I'm not saying he's a great Joker. No, just in general. Like, just in general. Whereas, like, I'm not saying he's a great Joker, but I'm amused by him. And I like the fact that he's doing something different. Like, he's not just trying to be Heath Ledger or Jack Nicholson or what he's doing his take on the Joker, and it doesn't work for some people, which is
3
fine.
Jokers, but that's another video altogether. There are 3 Jokers.
Yeah. From the most recent comic book run. But I appreciate that he's doing something different, and I know that doesn't work for everybody, but I'm amused by his Joker. So I did like the interaction between him and Bruce. But then I realized, why is he asking the Joker for help if he's trying to fight Superman? Because this sounds like a Suicide situation or Suicide Squad situation where none of these niggas could take on Superman. So why
Or
are
it
you
sounds
asking
like
this
the
crazy clown
Injustice-
man?
It sounds like the Injustice set up like the Joker did something
Right,
to cause
right,
Superman to kill Lois, but we'll I don't know. man.
right. But it's just none of y'all are gonna be able to fight Superman. And then when he lands at the end, I'm like, oh great.
That was my biggest
Another-
issue because it was just like, all right, well, Superman is here. There's no way none of y'all are escaping unless Batman has kryptonite. And if he had kryptonite, then Superman should have been dead already. So it's just like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, but epilogue was cool for what it was, but it wasn't necessary. But you know,
Like much of this movie.
Yeah, I
Also, oh, go ahead, Jordan.
No, I thought the epilogue was pointless. Yeah, I mean, clearly they just had to stitch together other ideas for future pathways, like the next Batman film or the next Flash film. I saw that Flash had a new costume on, which was more armored for some reason.
But it
he
wasn't
was
the same
also
Flash.
entirely CGI. No, it was the same. It was same Flash.
Yeah, because I thought
He just had a mustache.
Isn't this what Zack Snyder did in addition to his movie? Like they gave him $70 million to do more shooting.
Yeah, this was one of the scenes that was shot for this movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
Kinda odd.
Again, failing upwards. Give him money to make more trouble.
It was kind of odd because like one of the more compelling Superman stories are ones where Superman fails but redeems, hopefully in time. But like Superman set up as the antagonist is fine, but it does seem comical. It's like what are y'all doing? This seems like Dark Side won, and probably someone has the anti-life equation and it's totally decimated Earth. Like what's step 2 here?
And once again, this is based off of Superman going crazy over losing his one true love, and they have not done a good enough job building that one true love element. Like, I would not buy Superman saying screw humanity off of that relationship.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't buy it.
I could sooner see Superman take a more apathetic route than a more emotional reactionary route.
I could see him hitting the Dr. Manhattan, going to Mars, and just chilling up there. Yeah.
And
absolutely.
be like, y'all brought this on yourself. I don't need this.
yeah.
Okay.
And the Green Lantern was a black monkey. This has been another episode of Press X to Ramble. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we enjoyed rambling.
This is a long one. We're sorry.
This was the Zack Snyder cut of Press X to Ramble.
Don't forget the rate and reviews on your favorite podcasting apps.
Man.
Well, actually, that sounds weird to this because actually, no, do that. But also like and subscribe on our YouTube and IG channel because we need that.
We need your support.
Yeah. Peace.